Meditation is not working for me. You're not broken. You're not necessarily doing it wrong. You're not bad at meditating. You're just trying to meditate on top of an activated nervous system. So let's talk about what's really happening inside your body when meditation doesn't work and how to shift from frustration to flow. At SoundEmbrace, we dive into Sound Matters, where science meets soul and curiosity leads the way. Each episode dives into the real, research-backed, and deeply human ways sound shapes healing, leadership, and the art of living a life you love waking up to every day. Because sound isn't just something you hear, it's something you become. Hey there, I am Danielle Hall, and today we are talking about something that may ruffle a few feathers. I often hear, meditation is not working for me. All right, here's why. First, you've heard it everywhere. Just breathe, sit still, empty your mind. But for so many people, that's not peace. That is punishment. And the truth is that it's not your fault. You're not broken. You're not necessarily doing it wrong. You're not bad at meditating. You're just trying to meditate on top of an activated nervous system. So let's talk about what's really happening inside your body when meditation doesn't work and how to shift from frustration to flow. Before we begin, let's just take a moment. Ask yourself, when was the last time I felt truly calm? And I'm not talking about the kind of calm that comes from zoning out, but the kind of calm that feels grounded, alive, and present. And for most people, that is a really rare feeling. We live in a world that rewards stress and speed, not stillness. So when you finally sit down to meditate, your body doesn't sigh in relief. It panics, it tenses up, the mind turns on. You can't meditate your way out of survival mode, but you can learn to regulate your system first and then find stillness. That's what we are diving into today. All right, let's enter the lab here. And let's be honest. Most people are trying to meditate from a dysregulated state. It's like asking your car to cruise at 25 miles per hour when the engine is still redlining at 120. Meditation isn't broken. It's just being prescribed out of order. So here's what's really happening under the hood. Today I have a list for you. We have 6 things that I really want you to know, I really want you to sit with. So number 1 is state before strategy. Your nervous system decides what is actually possible. So before you can actually meditate, your body has to believe that it is safe to be still. If your system is stuck in fight or flight, closing your eyes might feel more like a threat to your mind and body than an actual release. You cannot access calm through force. I'm going to just say that again. You cannot access calm through force. According to my guy, Stephen Porges, polyvagal theory, your vagus nerve is the bridge between your body and your brain, and it constantly asks one question. Am I safe? If the answer is no, your heart rate rises, your breath shortens, and your mind races. Meditation then becomes an act of survival and not serenity. So before you try to go inward, you have to help your body stand down first. All right, number 2, the default mode network myth and the trap of expectation. The neuroscience crowd loves to talk about the default mode network. This is your brain's inner narrator that replays the memories and plans the future. Meditation can quiet this network, but that doesn't mean your thoughts actually disappear. So what can actually happen is that when you first sit down to try to meditate, your thoughts actually get louder. It's like walking into a room you didn't realize was full of noise until you turned the TV off. The real skill isn't stopping thought. Meditation is not about stopping the thoughts. It is about recognizing thought without being pulled into it, without getting hooked to it. So if your brain's still buzzing during meditation, great, congratulations. Meditation's actually working for you. It's just you're not really noticing the benefits of it in this moment. All right, number 3, when stillness feels unsafe. Some people actually feel worse when they meditate. And not because they're doing it wrong, but because stillness can actually unearth what's been buried. Studies by Lindell and Brighton documented how meditation can sometimes trigger panic. Sometimes it can trigger flashbacks or emotional flooding in people with unresolved trauma. It's like turning down the music only to realize your house is on fire. So the goal isn't to avoid meditation, but it's just to approach it differently. You don't throw out the practice. You just change the entry point. So in this particular case, I would start with movement. I would start with incorporating sound or different grounding practices. Give your body a way to release before you invite the stillness. All right, number 4. So you've probably heard a lot, just notice your breath. Simply notice your breath. And I am one to ask you, bring your awareness to your breath. That sounds great. It sounds great on paper. But vague awareness rarely helps a body that's already anxious. In 2023, researchers at Stanford found that structured breathing, specifically cyclic sighing, improved mood and calm more than mindfulness alone. The secret here is the long exhale. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system and increases vagal tone, which is your body's internal dial for calm. You can think of it as the body's built-in sedative. It's available anytime you remember to use it. So don't watch your breath. Shape it. Breathe like someone taking back control of their system. Number 5, movement first, then stillness. Rhythm is nature's first language. Your body is a symphony of rhythm. Your heartbeat, your breath rate, your brainwave states. That's why walking meditations, chanting, drumming, and sound bath sessions all work. They use rhythm to resync the nervous system before silence. This phenomenon is entrainment, when your brain and body sync with external rhythm. It's why soldiers march, why babies calm when they're being rocked, and why you find yourself breathing with a song's tempo. Rhythm organizes the chaos. Once the body feels safe in rhythm, then the stillness naturally follows. Number 6, my final. Here, my list for you today. Technique mismatch equals frustration. Meditation isn't a one-size-fits-all. There are focused attention styles, open awareness styles, compassion styles, and none of them are wrong. But if you're hypervigilant, trying to silently watch your thoughts can actually feel like being locked in a room with your loudest fears. Sound-assisted meditation gives you something tangible to hold on to. So a tone, a hum, and a heartbeat, for example. It's not a shortcut, but it is kind of this scaffolding that helps give you the structure to be able to move from where you are now to where you're wanting to go. Like a buoy in water, sound gives your mind something to rest on while the body learns safety again. So, when meditation doesn't work, it's not that you failed. It's that the sequence was just out of order. The sequence was wrong. First regulate, then meditate, then integrate. All right, let's step into the practice for a moment. Let's step into a real life situation. I once worked with a client. He was a firefighter, high functioning, always in motion. My friend firefighters, you are just constantly in that fight or flight state. And so he said to me, every time I try to meditate, I get angry. My brain just won't shut up. And when I asked him what he did right before meditating, he said that he sits down, He crosses his legs, he closes his eyes, and then he tries to force the quiet. And this is stereotypically what we see when we are thinking about meditation, right? We're thinking about the person who is sitting with their legs crossed, with their hands in some type of mudra, and their eyes are closed, and it looks like they're in quiet, right? So with this particular client, we really just had to change the approach. And so I reminded him that his body didn't need quiet. It needed completion. So with him, when we would do these one-on-one sessions, we actually started with 3 minutes of rhythmic breathing, which was an inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. After that initial 3 rounds of breath, I then introduced the sound. And it was just one bowl. It was one note. We would do the breathing, then I would play the sound. Then we would do the breathing again. Then we combined the breathing and the sound. Then he was able to get into that stillness state. His face softened and his shoulders dropped. And after those sessions, I would ask what he noticed. And one of the things that really stood out to me was that he said that he could finally hear himself again. That is the shift, man. We're not erasing the thought, we're restoring rhythm. So let's go ahead and get ready for our practice today. We're going to do the same breathing and the exercise that I took my client through. Again, if you are driving, this is not the time. Not the time, my friend. So you know the drill. Go ahead and find a comfortable position. And as you do, place your palms face down on your legs. Gently close your eyes if you're not driving, or cast your gaze down to the floor. And simply allow yourself to bring your awareness to the connection of your hands to your body, raising your fingertips up and then letting them fall naturally on your legs. Pressing into your legs gently so that you notice this pressure of your hands to your legs. And now inviting in a deep breath in through your nose for 4 counts, breathing in. And exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8. Allowing your breath to now fall into its own natural rhythm and bringing your awareness to this 2 minutes of sound. Preparing now for our breath again. Breathing in for 4. Exhale for 8. Again for 4. Exhale for 8. One last time. Allowing yourself now the opportunity to notice how you feel with the sound itself. Bringing your awareness now back to your body, noticing the connection of your hands to your body, raising your fingertips, and then grasping your leg. Gently adding some pressure down onto your thighs, noticing the pressure, and release. And inviting in one last deep breath in through your nose, and sigh that out. And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes. You cannot outthink biology, but you can tune it. You're not failing at meditation. You're learning to meet yourself where you are. Stillness isn't something you learn through suffering. It's something that emerges when your body finally feels safe. And that moment you stop forcing calm and start cultivating safety, everything changes. Everything changes. Meditation begins when you stop fighting your biology and start listening to it. If today's episode resonated with you, I would love to invite you to become a part of the SoundEmbrace family, a community of sound embracers taking personal ownership of their own lives and supporting one another in living lives they love waking up to every day. Explore our free community, dive deeper into the Alignment Lab, or train through the Sound Healing Certification Program. The difference between a performer and a true facilitator of transformation. Visit SoundEmbrace.com to live a life you love, waking up to every day. Stay curious, listen deeply, live a life you love.